Good morning. Getting a bit chilly now, isn't it? Okay, got a Volkswagen Golf dropped off to me last night. No start, no nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, start off, it's a 1.4. I'll just show you, turn the key, and there's nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. Power anywhere. Lights on dashboard. Yeah, lights on dashboard work. So, or do they? Yeah, they work. So we've got them. Fan works. So we've got general bits and pieces working. Just plugged in to the CAN wires, and this is the good one to look for. It definitely tells me I've got 12 volts going to the DLC, and I've got good ground, and I've got a good signal ground. So I plugged into it. Well, I didn't plug into it. Someone sent me the information, and most of it is in central electronics. Steering angle, power steering, engine control, brake control module, airbag module. So it's all on that looks like all the high CAN stuff. And then if you go into the gateway's got intermittent signals. So that's a bit weird, but we will go from there. So first thing we do, plug in, don't we? See what sort of information the car's going to give me. And this is what it's giving me. I think this is brilliant, the old topology. And see, gateway comes in, then we go into the CAN, and these are all the CANs. So engine ECU, airbag, God knows, I can't remember. So and ABS ain't here. Don't know where the ABS is. Perhaps that one's ABS, but it's not here. But if you go into limb bust, they're all working. Dash, mobiliser, AC, it's all talking. And then we've got what's this one? CAN D, I think that one is. It's one of them. So it's certainly not moist. That ain't there. So it's obviously the radio, but someone's changed the radio. And they actually put that in, and they said to me they had a few problems with it and it had to go back. So has that got anything to do with it? I don't know. So, but the wiring was wrong, I was told. Right, I'm surprised anyone admitted to that, but that's new. So this is what we got. It was a gateway, and then if you can't, but the problem is, though, if you have a look here, this CAN does these, but it also goes into this one. And if you click on that, which is the steering column electronics, and press that button, see, this is on the CAN line. And then obviously if you go into trouble codes, comes up with data bus missing. So obviously there's information not getting to it, but it's powered up. So where do we go? Can we not talk to it because it ain't got any power or grounds? Or is it actually telling me I just can't talk to it and it has got power and grounds? That is what we're going to have to find out. So what I'm going to first do is going to plug the old canvas in, and we're going to see what the scope tells us. So let's go from there. Okay, we've plugged into the CAN lines, into the oscilloscope, and we've gone into number 14 and 16. I've changed the earth going on both just to make sure. But this is what we got. So the red one's going to be high CAN, and the green one is low CAN. And they're both the same. They're both pulling 2.5, and there's no activity whatsoever. None at all. So, is this a power, or is this, do I go for the gateway? But then, why isn't this starting? Why haven't I got any lights? But that's all powered up, isn't it? Where do I go? Power grounds, or I go straight to have a look at the gateway. But then I've also got the comfort zone, which has got problems, isn't it? And that's not sending anything out, and it's that got no power. And that's why this is dead. Right, we're going to have to flop the coin here, which one I'll go for. And I think the quickest one to do is just check the power and grounds in the fuse box, and we'll check the power and grounds to the easiest one I can get to, either ABS or get to the ECU, one of the two, just to see if there's power and grounds getting to there. And then if I've got power and grounds getting to them, then we're going to have a quick look round the communication ways. They got a few problems on here on the gateways, I've heard, but I thought you'd have had lights on the dashboard. Perhaps it's not being told to put the lights on the dashboard. Yeah. But not looking at the wiring diagram. I think the wiring diagram shows it actually puts the power to everything. Right, testing time before we move any further. Okay, ignition's hot. What we're going to do is we're going to test the ignition engine management relay, see if we get any power to it. So what I'm going to do is, if you can have a little look there. Right, so I've definitely got power going to the relay, and I've also got power going to the relay. And then what happens is you get an earth signal. An earth signal coming from here to fire that up. So let's have a look, see if we got any earth signals. I haven't got my thing at the moment. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't got an earth signal, and I've got the ignition on. Okay, so this really, with ignition on, this should be, ignition on, and I've got no power going to that relay. Okay, we're going to test the relay out the fuse box, which I've got here, which is number 100. So I've got the 4 pins connected. As I say, if you use this machine here, be careful on the 5 pins, because if you have the 5-pin ones and it's got a diode in, this will fail it, and there's nothing wrong with the relay. So what we've done, we've got it all plugged in, and this is going to test the internals. So let's start it, have a listen. Definitely something happening. Let's see what comes up. And that comes up as good. So nothing wrong with that relay, is there? Right, you know what the next thing is, don't you? Yep, wiring diagram. No more guessing, because I could be here all flaming day. Right, let's go and have a quick look, shall we? Okay, let's have a look at this drawing. Just in time for a cup of tea. Gotta have a cup of tea. Right, now here's the drawing of the fuse box, and there's the relay I was talking about. So let's have a little look here. Right, okay, so we got it so that it's getting power from there going into the fuse box, which is powering all these actual fuses. So the power goes into here, and then it goes into the switch. Okay, so, and we know we saw the power there because that was on the left hand side, and this one was on the front, so we know we've got power going into there, and we know it goes through that fuse as well. So as we got power there, right, so we got our earths. Now we know it's not gonna light these up because this has got to be working, and that is the major issue. So it looks like there's 2 wires. Let's see where they go. Let's see. They might go Oh. Right, okay, so this doesn't actually go to Earth at all. A35 is the engine management ECU, so that is telling that to power up everything in the car. Oh, mind you, so something's not telling the ECU to fire this car up. Getting interesting now, isn't it, eh? It's getting interesting. Right, I've got a few tools I need to get hold of, which are obviously in the storage locker as usual. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to bypass that relay and see what happens. So see what happens. But yeah, so the ECU is not telling that to open. Right, let's move on to the next bit. This is getting interesting. Okay, got my bypass valve in, or relay, and I'm going to see if now F15 or F20, that, so you put that in there, and yeah, we got power, you turn it off, goes off. And then also to check here, I think it's this one, that one, and that one works as well, so that powers that up. So it's not that, so what I've got to do now is I've got to check the earth. Okay, so we've got them powered up. So what I've also checked, I've checked 26 is also powers up, so that tells me these relays are working. So what we're going to do is we're going to try F2 on number 4, see what we get with that one. I've taken the ECU out, so everything's all safe, and F4 will be, where did I say it was? There. There's F4. Ah, hold on. We got no power coming from F4. I think we better have a look at that fuse, don't you? That could be the one. Could be a fuse. Right. Let's find out where that one's hiding. But what I want to do is I also want to check the continuity between that relay and I think it's number 28, one of those, and just to make sure that this wiring is all intact. But I think this is the one we got to check. We got no power. Oh, hopefully a nice simple one. Okay, wiring diagram again as we're working our way through. So if you remember, pin 4 on the ECU goes up to F2, and F2 is a 5 amp fuse, and it is in the fascia fuse box, and that will then go up, and that gets supplied by, it gets supplied by the ignition relay. That is the body control module. Oh well, perhaps I might be wrong. It might be the body control module. And the body control module then goes to the ignition. So the ignition tells that to send the signal, and then what it does is it powers all these up. So the first thing we're going to do is F2 in the fascia and see if we got any power going to there. And then what we'll do is we'll start working our way through. Okay, gonna make a quick cup of tea now, and then we're going out and have a look at it. Okay, I found them, fuse box. Ain't many fuses in here, but it's these top ones here. So we got F1, 2, 3 and 4. and we were looking for, I think it was F4 wasn't it? On the, or F2, which is supplied by one wire, and it's got 4 signal wires to the relays. So let's just make sure we got no power. Ignition's hot. Right, let's just check, make sure we've got no, 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 and the fuses aren't blowing either. Right, okay, so what I found is, looking at the wiring diagram, this is the full rundown of it here, and this is the key. The key sends the power to the actual body control module, and then the body control module sends it to these relays. So let's see if there's I've checked these fuses are fine. So let's check these 2 relays, which is that one there, which I'm not going to be worried about, you'll see why later, and this one here. This one here is that one, and that's the one that goes to F2, remember, the fuse which actually run that ECU. So with the ignition on, and if I can let's just put that in there, ignition on, alright, let's just take that out. Relay that supplies the fuses. So let's do the same thing as what we did with the other one and test that one as well, shall we? Right, let's get it all set up. Put you there, and same thing, just put the little clips on there, make sure they're not touching. Otherwise it's not going to give you the correct problem. Right, so we've got the relay again, so same test, press reset, and here we go. Have a listen. Sounds good, doesn't it? See what this one comes up with. And we've got good. Not that either, is it? With ignition on, we've got power. So that tells me that we've got the signal coming from here to actually tell that relay to work. So the body control module has got to be okay. But why haven't I got any power here? And that power there goes into F7, which is in, oh, that's in the engine control module. Christ, I'm going backwards and forwards here like there's no tomorrow. So why is there no power going into there? I've checked all the fuses. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look. F7, 40 amp. Right, let's have a look. Where's F7? F7. F7. And I know there. Oh, hold on. What's that there? F7. Hold on, there's no bloody fuse in there. Did it have a fuse to start with? I never took one out, and the actual thing, this story doesn't make sense. There's no fuse. Right, let me do a little homework, see if it was actually fitted in the first place, or I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to get a 40 amp fuse anyhow, and we're going to try it and see. this don't make bloody sense. Okay, I've done some homework, and this did originally come with a 40 amp fuse. So I've got some fuses, and we're going to put that in there. That will do. Right, let's go and have a look, see what's going on now. See if anything's going to change. Oh, hold on, we've got ignition. We've got everything working. Hold on. Is this going to bloody start? Oh, you're having a laugh. Someone testing me or what? Okay, I need to get some. I seriously need to do some. Homework here, because how can this guy drive to work, come out, and it doesn't start, and the fuse is missing? That don't make sense. Right, I'll give you an update on this one, but the car is running. Wow. Now this is where testing comes into its own. Just think, we could have changed the body control module, we could have changed the gateway, we could have changed loads of things, and all it is there's a fuse missing. Why is there a fuse missing? And it was the main fuse to run the ECU. Right, I need to get hold of the customer. I wonder if that radio, remember I said something about the radio? I wonder if that's got something to do with it, because let me just go and get the computer. Okay, let's have a look what them fuses do. To be honest, it's just another excuse for a cup of tea. Right, F1 audio system, because something's got to power these fuses up, which will power everything up, and that would make a reason for why that fuse is missing. Because at the moment I'm lost. Auxiliary heater, cruise control, data link, engine management, which is the one, headlight adjusters, stop lights, F2, ABS. We didn't have no ABS, did we, working? We have now. Engine management, four-wheel drive, fuel pumps working now, power steering, control module. Now you got to think about it, this is powered up, all of these relays, fuses. F4, ABS, AC heater. That one's interesting. Engine management, garage door, power steering. Yeah, we did have a problem with that came up. Stop start system, I don't think it's got one, and it hasn't got that. And F4, where is it? F4, come on. No, F4, F2, F1, where's F3? F3, airbag system, and that wasn't working either. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug into it. I've got to get hold of the customer now, because I don't really understand how this is happening, unless somehow the relay didn't have to work. It was being powered, it was being back. Remember I said there was something about the audio, and I'm not sure at the moment, and the wiring was wrong. Did someone pull the F40, the F7 fuse, and the radio was doing all the work? I don't know. Something must have been powering these four fuses up, because it wasn't that fuse, because that fuse was not powering. Yeah. Right, let's go and plug into it and see what we got. Let's see what we got. Okay, the car's connected. Let's see if it does talk to it. Well, we know it runs, so let's just have a look, see what's gonna... Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Yep, let's have a quick smart scan. Might take a little while, but... Oh, we talked to ECU. We didn't talk to them, did we? Remember on the Autel last time, it wouldn't talk to that. It won't talk to that one because it hasn't got an automatic transmission. Come on. Just say it hasn't got one. Okay, it talks to everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press a quick report, which has got reg and everything on there. Okay, we're going to skip that, I don't need it, and I'm going to generate a report. So I've got everything on here that there was a problem. And then if I wanted to, I can email the customer or anything, but I don't want to email the customer. So we got O2 circuit, O2 circuit, O2 circuit. Well, that might be because of the ECU, but I will gonna have to heat a circuit. Well, it could be where the voltage was wrong. So we're not going to worry about that. Obviously, no signal now. And we're going to. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear all the DTCs because we've got a clear path of what we're going to do. Right, so I've got no engine management lights. As I say, with the catastrophe we had, I mean, I would expect it to do that. That'd be nice if it goes out. Yep, that's the hole. Now we are. So let's let it clear everything. Right, EPS, we might have to have a look at that one. What's the EPS one? Steering angle, power assisted steering. Oh, I wonder, is that because... Right, let's start it up again. I mean, and then just turn the steering that way, and then turn the steering that way, and then straighten it up, and that's put all the lights out. Right, okay, so that's how, if you ever want to do a steering angle and you ain't got any kit, just do that. Turn the steering one way, turn it the other way, and it will centralise up. Right, let me just see if we can clear this code. Turn the engine. I mean, I've got no engine management, I've got no lights on apart from the good ones. Right, let's just clear the code. Yes. Fault code's cleared, yes. And alright, okay, I've got none now. So perhaps that's what the problem was, is I never centralised the actual steering. EZ, what's that one? Instrument panel dimmer switch. Reason is I haven't got it connected, so see, who's in control of these cars? You or me? I think it's the car. But that's what it's telling me. It isn't working. The reason it's not working, it's not plugged in. Right, magic. So I've got the car going, I'm talking to everything, my steering is working properly, I've got no lights on apart from the parking brake, I ain't got my seat belt on, and I've got the door open, and that's exactly what I have got. My battery's good, it starts, it runs. So now we've got to ask the question, how did it run with a 40 amp fuse missing? Because something must have been powering all them fuses up to make all this work. I'm going to have a little look at this one, because that's the only thing that was changed, and there was a problem. And they came back and said there was a wiring issue. Has it got a wiring issue now? Now I've put they've actually fixed it properly. And but what have they wired this into? what have they wired that into? Because there's no way this should run with that 40 amp fuse missing, period. Okay, I might even make a part 2 or I might add it onto here, but as I've got the car going, it's running. I'm going to put it back together again now, and I'm as I say, I might make part 2 or I might add it onto here, but I've got to do some homework on this one now, and I've got to talk to the customer. Okay, leave this with me now.